audiences back just a little bit, right? Talk to me about the decision about bringing your dad and Abby on this journey and this ride with you.
Yeah, so it's a no-brainer that my dad was my number one pick. I mean, him and I do a lot of adventure races together. So him and I are going to do this little adventure together. And then it was also a no-brainer that Abby would join us. I mean, she kind of fits the role. I feel like she would have thrived out in the wilderness, so would have my dad. So it's a fun choice that they picked me as a survivalist, very amateur person being out there, but yeah, I mean, our team, it worked. It worked through the entire process, and there's a lot of strategy on their end that I didn't know what was going on. And I did my part too, trying to live out there in the wild.
Yeah, Abby, to you, at what point did you start to see headquarters was just as much about gameplay as it was for looking out for Megan?
It's funny because I don't know if I ever fully understood how much gameplay was going on. Like I did know, right? There was, I think honestly, the hot chocolate and socks. Whenever that kind of started and there was kind of like a fiery moment in HQ, I remember everyone immediately kind of looked around and was like, whoa, that day kind of changed everything for us. But yeah, I think a lot of the strategy and gameplay was very hush hush. People did a very good job of hiding it. So it would be very nice if I could say, yeah, I knew what was going on. I was in the know, but I would be lying. I was not in the know. We did our best to try to figure it out and understand what was going on, but it was difficult.
Yeah, all right. Pops, I'm gonna call you Dad too here, just because I feel like you've officially adopted me here. But one of the more things that I think the respect level for me for you was standing up for Abby when things started to get a little bit on high alert. How important was it for you to set those boundaries with those other families after they kind of crossed that line?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to always stick up for Abby. That's our team. We are, in this to win the game. And anything to throw Abby off, to get her off her game, I needed to set that right. So I try to diffuse the situation that was going on between all the guys because it was getting pretty heated. So I wanted to go in and just kind of explain our position on our decision point. And once I did that, the all the tempers kind of went down. I explained to Blake that, hey, we can't do that to Abby. If you need to do something, do it to me. I can take it. No worries. So just to make sure that we were able to continue forward and not have the same drama like transpired.
Megan, the resetting of camp, how much of an impact did that play on your game and, of course, towards the end game?
You know, I will say I was already very uncomfortable being out there. So I had built up a little home and I called home for over 16 days. And, when you get told, okay, now you have to destroy everything that you worked so hard and start all over again, that does something to a person. And so you already are defeated in that very moment. So I think I had to just ball up, and I took my tarp, I took my knife so I could cut the tarp and, put it on the trees. I took the knife for a reason. It wasn't just, oh, because she's scared. No, I mean, there was reason behind it. And then I took the sleeping bag. So those were a few of my comfort items. And, I made use of the new environment. And I think I'm very adaptable, as you can see in the game, as uncomfortable as I got. You just have to keep moving forward. And I knew this was part of the game, but I also knew it was coming to the end. So I'm like, if I can just survive this night, this one night, we're going to be okay.
All right, Abby and Pops here. I'm going to ask a tough one. Will the word dance haunt you for the rest of your life?
It better.
Honestly,
Well,
It
I'm
better.
gonna back up. No, it won't haunt me because I honestly do stand by the word. I think that it was really hard in that moment too to be like we had picked a different word to start off with, and it wasn't a full word, so we had to go back and change it, and we were a little frazzled after that, and we go in and our first thought was people, right? Or at least mine was. It was like, okay, there are like that's what the first thing you're going to think of. None of the people in Megan's family had 5-letter names. Unfortunate, right? But we had spent so much time, every interview we did, we talked about my dad. Because my dad races with Megan's dad. So yeah, I really thought, we thought it was a good word. And of course, like, we go back in, you rethink everything that you've ever thought. We also didn't know this word was going to be like as big of a deal as it was, right? And so, yeah, I don't know. I will say it's not going to like haunt me, but it was like, I don't know. I thought it was a good word until it was not a good word, you know?
Well, I can tell you on my end, it will haunt me till the day I pass away. So
Yep.
I just look back on it and think that, we were going in thinking of proper names. So we're thinking of names of people, because some of the rules were, well, you can't use a survivalist name. You can't use your name. So that kind of just stuck in our brain, like, oh, it's got to be, someone's name. So we just went through the Rolodex and we chose Scott. Now, if I could take it back, of course, armchair quarterback, it'd be Dance, Teton. It would be all the things that we should have thought of, but we just did not at that moment, because it was just a quick decision. And yeah, if I could take it back, absolutely, I would.
Ricky, we were told from the second before we did the pack raft, this 5-letter word describes you. If your team knows you, this one word is who you are. And I'm like, oh, I got it. Runner, dance, racer, like whatever. And I'm like, those are my words. And so when I got to the lock, I'm like, you've got to be kidding. It's none of these. Like, what, so then you start freaking out. You try different words and it's like, well, shit, one already went, and it's just me and Woody sitting there.
Yeah, and that's the difference between like just like the instructions too. Like, we were not told that. That was not the description that we were given of what the word would be told to y'all. So just look.
Yeah.
It happened.
Absolutely. I had to bring it up. You know what I mean? You got to bring it up, obviously, just because of how it unfolded, and obviously it's one of those ones that you when you watch it, you'll be like, yep, that was it. Megan, to you, obviously, kind of piggybacking off of that, you fought hard throughout this, right? When you see Jake open that box, what was going through your head, knowing that like that was it for you?
When I describe the feeling that I got, it was every single emotion amplified. So it was heartbreak, it was joy, there was a lot of tears, but then there was a lot of happiness, and there was a lot of I was very thankful to just be there, but also my heart, I felt like I had let my team down, because in that moment, this was my job to get this right. They've done everything in HQ to get me this far. And the fact that I just messed this up for our team, it was the most heartbreaking moment I had. And it might unfold in a different way, but looking at it, it's just the best way I can describe it is every single emotion, you put it all in one little box. And that's what I felt.
And I will tell you this, looking back at it and going through the process, we should have put a better word in there for Megan to guess, because we're the ones that had a lot of sleep, a lot of food. She's delirious at this point, and we did not select the best word. So it's on us. I mean, it's on me, because I should have thought of something better. And I didn't. So it's not the fault of Megan. It's the fault of what we did in there. So I take all the blame.
No, I share
and also
it.
it's like you. I will
add right there. That's a dad right there for you. I want to know. That's a dad right there.
I will tell you this: to end the survival, all the days they were out there, just to hinge on one word. I'm like,
terrible.
Really? It's like, come on. There's so much more we could have done just to end it just on one word. So I was a little disappointed in that.
Yeah. I think when they woke us up, Ricky, to say, this is your final day, when I tell you my whole world just had lit up, I'm like, oh, I can't wait. Like, I've been waiting for this moment. It's going to be a race. I'm going to be on foot. Like, this is we're going to win it. And so I woke up thinking, okay, no doubt we're winning this today. So
yeah, it was pretty incredible to see like the final moments, right? It was like everybody's on the verge of like half death. And then it was like, hey, here's a survival trial to win 250. And everybody's like, all right, this is day one all over again. You know what I mean?
yes.
It was pretty crazy. All right. So this is my final question I have here. And I'm going to go back to you, Megan. What did you learn about yourself throughout the journey on this show?
My goodness, I learned a lot of patience. I learned to love the rain. I learned to live off the land. I learned to listen to my surroundings, open my eyes. And I learned that I can really do anything in this life. And I learned that I am a badass. So
Yeah.
that's what I learned.
That's right.
Thank you guys. It was a pleasure chatting with you. Congratulations. Again, you might not have won, but you guys made it very far and it was fantastic to watch you guys and I hope you guys dance for the rest of the night. I'm sorry, it's a bad joke. I'm sorry, I gotta go. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Fair enough.
No, you should. It'll haunt me for the rest of my life. So we're
No, I'm
good.
kidding. Thank you guys for your time today.
Thanks, Ricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick.